Dr. Suresh Kumar has 30 years of experience at Indian Institute of Remote Sensing and ISRO. He had done his doctorate in agriculture from GB Pant University, and his researches are commendable. Now I request Dr. Suresh Kumar to share his views on World Waters Day. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Neeru Sharma ji, for giving a nice introduction. And I'm here for to talk on the World Water Day today, which we are celebrating. And I will have some. I go through the presentation.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
So just I share my screen. Host disabled participants screen sharing. Is it so?
So just we are allowing. Just. Is it coming, sir?
Yeah, now it's coming. Is it coming?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I welcome all the participants who have joined this webinar. And first of all, I thanks to Shivakhya Foundation for conducting this webinar with the title on the elixir of life. As we know that water is an essential element of all living body, including human body. So as we see that water is so essential that our body is composed of water, 70% of water, and various components, you can see that one. But before discussing on the water International Water Day, I will remind you that this year we are celebrating Water Day, and the theme is accelerating the change to solve the water and sanitation crisis. And if we go on that one, so the main purpose of this Water Day is to raise awareness among the people to access safe water and how to conserve the water and how water we can keep for future generation. We can keep our water cycle intact for the future generation so that we don't get shortage of water for coming generation. So in this my talk, I will discuss mainly on the scientific aspects, or where we can we can help, or we can reduce our footprint or our requirement so that we can save the water and we can avoid the water crisis, and we can also cope up with the in climate change scenario, as we are knowing that in the as global warming and the climate change we are witnessing, and because of that your water crisis is inevitable, or you can say it must be we must face if our the same way we are using the water. So if we see the water cycle, and it is the nature has given us as a renewable natural resource, and the natural resource we are getting in plenty, and this water cycle if remain intact, then there will be no problem of water. But if you see what happening, we are changing our land use, we are growing a different type of crop, we are involved in deforestation, we are growing the crops which requires high water demand, high water. Our lifestyle is changing. We are more going towards the processed food. We are converting from vegetarian to non-vegetarian, as nature has given us to be vegetarian, but we are changing ourselves as a non-vegetarian, and our urban lifestyle is changing. So we are requiring a lot of energy, and because of these things, these are making disruption to our water cycle. So water cycle, what is there? You are just, because deforestation, because you know the forest brings the rain in your area. Rain will be stopped. And you know, water is stored in ground as a groundwater. And that is also, our practices are affecting the storage of groundwater. So all these things are affecting your water cycle, and how we can overcome all this. One should be remembered that nature can meet our need, but cannot meet our greed. And our greed, with the development, on the name of the development, our greed is increasing. But nature has given sufficient to meet our requirement. We are using water in a various ways, for agriculture purpose, for industrial use, and for our purpose. But if you see, what is your water footprint? Because knowing water footprint is essential to take better decision for water management, to avoid the water crisis. I will say that there is two terms are used. One is the visible water, another is virtual water. Visible water, what you see every day. When you are wake up in the morning, you are using the water, and by evening, in what forms you are using water, for bath purpose, for washing, for clothes washing, everything, that is the visible water. But another water, that is virtual water, which we don't see, don't realize. What you are wearing the cloth, using cell phone, or you are using another product, that is also requiring water in production of that one, and that is known as a virtual water. We should know that agriculture is the highest consumer of water. 60% of water is consumed in agriculture. Agriculture accounts 17% greenhouse gas emission in India. So agriculture we are doing, we are emitting greenhouse. You will say how? Because you are using groundwater for growing the crop, and for groundwater pumping, you are using petroleum product, petrol, diesel, and other things. So you are emitting the greenhouse gas. So if you are reducing the water use in agriculture, it means you are reducing the carbon emission also, and also then you will combat the global warming. It is supposed that India will be facing a most serious problem of water stress in the coming years. It has been predicted that by 2050, there will be severe water stress in our country. Safe water supply is the backbone of healthy economy. And first of all, it starts with the drinking water. If you see how good our drinking water, and where we are depend on the drinking water, 43% of our rural population, that is depends on their drinking water requirement is met by groundwater, using hand pumps and tube wells. Even 48%, you can say, rural household, 28% urban household, they are today surviving without access of an improved source. They are not having a good source of water. And 11% population is not having a sufficient drinking water. So water crisis is already there. and this crisis may enhance in future, then what will happen? And the water getting polluted, we know, because of heavy metals, fluoride, arsenic, lead, organic contamination because of pesticides, untreated domestic water, untreated industrial waste put into the surface water in river, biological contaminations you are getting because of organism, bacteria contamination, and some extent radiological contaminations also you are getting. If you see that is the Kalapakam area in Tamil Nadu, that their villages are facing with the radiological contaminations as well. If we see waterborne disease, India is housing 37 million Indians, 38 million Indians are affected by waterborne disease. And every year 1.5 million children die because of diarrhea. So this is the data given by the Groundwater Board, and revealing that 66, and they are saying that 66 million people are drinking water with the fluoride levels, which is beyond to the permissible limit. So what we are drinking the water, even in the urban area, how they are safe, difficult to say. That's why you are using the water filter at your home. But how many people are using water filter, and what quality of water filters do we have? So source of your drinking water is also affecting our health. And if we see what Government of India is doing, Government of India in 2019 started a flagship project, Jal Jeevan Mission. And its aim was to providing clean water to every child in India. And under that, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Water Resources, has divided into two parts: Department of Water Resource, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, and another department now created in 2019, Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation. And it aims to provide the water by 2024 to everyone. How we achieve that one, we will see that. But really, now Government of India has given its emphasis on, in 2019, to provide drinking water, safe drinking water to the people. And so we are not aware much. Now we are getting aware, as you are saying, that is groundwater already creating a lot of problems. If you see, the groundwater get contaminated with nitrate because of heavy use of fertilizers, urea, nitrogen fertilizer. Our water gets nitrate content, and that's why, because of that, you know, the Punjab and Haryana peoples are getting new blue baby syndrome. Baby die in fetus died. So this is a serious problem in some of the area where heavy use of fertilizers are being done, and they are contaminating with groundwater. Some of the states, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, having the problem of arsenic, fluoride. So there are a number of our drinking water, because we depends on the groundwater. So just to introduce with you some terminology what today scientific peoples are using, we are saying that is we should discuss two things in the today in the scientific world: what is carbon footprint and what is your water footprint. These are the two terms being used as an indicator to use for natural resources and to prepare your mitigation policy. Water footprint, if you see, there are three types of water are there. One is the blue water, which is related with your groundwater. Blue water, it is the most safest water, more purified water, because it is filtered by soil and is stored in the groundwater. We should take it as a gold reserve. It is the water which is the purest form, and we should conserve this water, not should misuse, because that is going to, when we will require, crisis will be there, when the rains will be less, when the drought conditions will be there, then this blue water will help you. So we should consider it as a gold reserve of water. Another water is green component, green water. What water we are getting from the rainy season? In the rainy season, rains through rains, collected or stored on the surface water bodies, river or glacial area, lake, ponds, all are the surface water, and we call it is green water. Because this green, why green? Because this water has come from without energy. You have not invested any energy, nature has given to you. And if this water you have stored into the ground, then it will be known as a blue water. And third water is a gray water. Gray water, when the water you take out by the treatment of the polluted water. So sometimes we are polluted water, we make the treatment plant, sewage water, or the other waters coming from the urban area, industrial waste, we make a treatment and then we make it usable. That is known as a gray water. So three waters are there. And how these three waters is affecting our agriculture? And so what is water footprint? And what is your carbon footprint? These two things are very important for making a sustainable use of water resources. If you see the water footprint, you can see here, that is in 1961 to 90s, we are getting the increase in the crop yield. And because of that, mainly this increase was because of providing more irrigation water. 43% increase was because of irrigation water. So this was, so you can say the water footprint in future, increasing crop yield, you need to more water, more blue water, green water. But it is supposed that the water footprint to meet your food requirement, 22% more water will be required. But you are seeing that day by day, water is scarcity. And that's why people are very much worried. If you see that for the agriculture production in the world, 80% green water will require, 11% blue water, and 9% gray water. That will be required. That is the global footprint has been calculated. And world water demand may expected to increase by 20-30%. But in the changing climate change scenario, another side, dark side, we are saying that the rainwater will be reduced. Then what will happen? Certainly, we are going to have a water crisis. Just I give you one picture. Here you are seeing that is growing one crop. How billion meter cube liter water is required. You see, for the growing rice crop, this green part is showing the green water, and this is the blue water contribution, and this is the gray water condition at the global level. But if you see the coarse cereals, millets, they require more, they are depend mainly on the green water and less on the blue water. So you can say, and maximum amount of blue water is being consumed by wheat and rice crop. That's why today we are saying that you should change your food habit from wheat to wheat and rice should be dropped or need to be reduced because they are taking more water consumption. So if you see, that is the carbon footprint. Rice and wheat have the largest blue water footprint. Means blue water requirement, they take large amount. And water consumption is directly linked with your greenhouse gas emission also. Because blue water, if you are pumping from the groundwater, then you are putting energy, either electricity or petrol or engine, then you are emitting the gas, greenhouse gases also in the atmosphere. So, and that is increasing your global warming and reducing your rainfall and reducing your creating water scarcity. If you see the carbon footprint and water footprint of the rice and wheat crop, so you see the water footprint of the rice and wheat crop. Rice is 1097 meter cube of water required to grow 1 ton of rice. But wheat, you require 871 meter cube water per ton of wheat production. Whereas the carbon footprint means how much carbon releases because of that one cultivation. Rice is 1.2 and wheat is 0.83 CO2 equivalent per ton of rice and wheat. So if you see another way, India is growing maximum food to meet need for our population's growing population. At the same time, we are doing lot of food loss. We are doing the wastage of the food, and doing the wastage of the food, what you are doing unknowingly, you are wasting your land, water, and energy resource. All three things you are wasting as a loss of the food, if we see. And if you are wasting your energy in growing that food, and it is said that globally you are contributing 8% of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. So here one graph is given to show the water loss associated with the food loss. If maximum we are losing the food, and you see cereals are giving the highest loss of water loss when we are making the food wastage. Sugarcane, you see, to grow sugarcane, we are having blue water requirement is very high than your green water requirement. So sugarcane is not a profitable. That's why government also says that don't grow more sugarcane. We are having surplus sugarcane production, sugar production, and sugarcane growing need lot of blue water, groundwater. So we are actually exporting the blue water to the other country. If you are growing sugarcane and you see the loss, sugarcane loss also, you are, if water loss due to sugarcane, it is this much of loss. And so we cereals and pulses, we are getting lost as a food loss. And here you see the milk, egg, poultry, meat. Here we are not getting much loss of food wastage. Food wastage is here mainly for these crops. So one thing comes, that is what we should eat, which water requirement is less. So just here you see water footprint, means liter of water required to grow 1 kilogram of product. If you see the wheat, rice, barley, maize, wheat requires 1800 liter of water to grow 1 kilogram. Rice requires 1600 liter of water, whereas the maize requires 1200 liters, barley 1400 liters. But here if you see, if you go for the non-vegetarian diet, beef productions requires 10,000 more than that liter to grow the water. Pork 6,000, chicken 4,000, egg 3,000 liter per kilogram of egg or per kilogram of meat. And for that one, it is also shown that is how much green and blue and gray water is required. So you can say the water footprint. If we are taking wheat or we are taking maize, then our water footprint will be less. So if you are taking vegetarian diet, your water footprint will be less. That's why Government of India has thought for alternative crops. And you know, United Nations on the behest of the Government of India, 2023 has declared as International Year Millet, International Year of Millets. Why? Because the millets growing millets water requirement is very less. If you see the Indo-Gangetic plains, we are growing rice, wheat, sugarcane, and maize crops by and large mainly. And you see that the rice requires 50% of water, wheat 30%, sugarcane 20%, and maize 10%. So this area we are growing these crops which is requiring a lot of water. So water footprint is very high. That's why these regions we are having a large population. So water, if we grow, if we don't change our crop type, then there will be crisis of water. That's why Government of India is pressing for the change your crop and grow millet crops and giving emphasis on the millets. We know that in our country, 51% of our agriculture areas, zone area is rain fed, where we are dependent on the rain. And our 40% food production comes from agriculture. So you need to reduce water scarcity, go for millets, and it will help to combat drought and desertification. So at the end, I will say that we should reduce our water footprint. So you find out what is your water footprint in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here, just giving that, if you are taking 25 grams of cereals, it requires 41 liters of water. If you are taking 250 ml of milk, it requires 255 ml of liters of water. And one chicken egg requires 2 liters water for production. So first, we need to reduce the food waste or food loss, wastage of food. And we need to change our dietary, which water footprint is less. So I will say that reduce your water and carbon footprint. This year, you start with this, act at your level, individual level, we call it is local level, and that will result for the global level. Here I have given one web link, that is footprint calculator. Using this calculator, you can check what is your ecological footprint. It will tell you that how much excess you are using the resources in the present living style. So what is your living style is there, today is there, how much we are excess is using, you can just get a glimpse by using this calculator. You can compute footprint calculator. So at the end, I thank you all for joining this webinar, and I hope we must start thinking to act at our individual level, which will give the results in future for coming generations. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving us this information and sharing about the footprint details. I think if we bring small changes